From the Stereo Sound Records Studios, your home for the best in unsigned and indie punk, rock, and metal. This is The Mosh Pit with your host, Wes Everett.
Inherently lost, unraveling sanity.
Welcome to the Mosh Pit. I'm your host, Wes Everett. I'm here with my co-host?
Yeah.
Co-host.
Sure.
Chair 2.
Chair 2. This is AJ Green, y'all.
Yep. She's on another episode with me because we have a couple of things to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, we are postponing interviews for the time being. Of course, by the time you hear this, there'll be an episode with an interview right after it, so whatever.
You're silly.
But you know what? You know what that interview's not going to entail? Being paid for.
Exactly.
That's what we're here to talk about today. So in the past couple of months, I have actually been approached. Well, I haven't been approached. I've approached others about an interview and get told that they only will do an interview if they get paid.
Well,
I have a slight problem with this.
Well, time out. Let's talk about the dynamic beforehand, because we are first and foremost, we are a podcast that supports local artists, and we support indie and unsigned for free. We do not charge them to promote their shows. We do not charge them to speak their songs into life and into the galaxy. Mm-hmm. We do not charge for these things because we don't want to be another bill for someone. So, that being said...
I love the way you said that, not another bill for someone, because we understand that these bands, these indie bands, It's already hard enough. It is. It is hard enough for you guys and girls out there doing shows, paying for gas, just regular life in general. And we don't want to be that next bill that's, oh man, we got to pay the mosh pit to play our song.
Right. Even if it's 10 cents, it's too much. So that being said, we have bands that reach out to us from New Zealand, Tennessee, Texas, where else? I mean, we have places coming from, Australia. We have people reaching out to us to interview them, talk about their upcoming shows, play their songs, get some airplay, just be talked about. And then we turn right around and we ask a few select people, not naming names.
Yeah, we're not going to go that far into this interview.
We're not going that deep, but we ask a few select people and it's, we only do interviews if you pay us $500. It's ridiculous. We're not going to do that.
Right.
If we are doing a free service for you, then why would we pay to do the free service for you? We're out of pocket then twice.
Exactly. And here's the biggest issue with that. I have bands, again, we do this for free. We do this because we love music, we love the arts, we support all of you guys and girls, what you're doing, what you're bringing into the atmosphere of, hey, this is it. We support that 100%. Now, my question is, if we paid for that interview, does that guarantee that you're actually going to promote it?
Oh, and that's the other thing. That's the other problem. Now, we have had issues in the past where we've talked about bands and we're like, hey, give us a share. Hey, give us a like. Promote your show.
Yeah,
because
it's your interview.
Well, it's your interview, but it's also tit for tat. I mean, you would think that, say, I don't know, Amanda and the Heartbreakers comes on the Mosh Pit, and then I don't share or promote the show, then the Mosh Pit has done all the work for me, and I have done nothing back for them. When all it takes is a share.
A share, even a like.
And we don't even require that.
Yeah.
A lot of the times we don't get that. So, and that I'm not calling out any specific people, but I am calling out that we don't get that a lot of the times. We don't enforce it. We don't ask for it. We don't try to say, hey, if I do this interview, you have to share it 10 times. We don't even do that. Like I said, we don't want to be another bill in any sense of the word.
But all of you are on social media, so expect that to be coming soon. If you want an interview, you're going to share the show 10 times, or I'm going to pull the interview down. But watch me.
But with that being said, if I pay for it, you're darn tootin'. If I pay you money, you better hold up your end of the bargain. You better share my show, and in that same retrospect, me paying you money, I'm asking you any damn thing I want.
See, that's another topic. Are there any questions that are off limits? If I pay, let's say, I'm just pulling a number out here. Let's say I pay $250 to interview you for an hour. I've got you for an hour on this couch. I've got you for an hour. I can ask you any damn question I feel like.
Right down to
what color is your underwear?
How many toes do you have? I heard you had 12. You know what I mean? I am asking you everything. Everything. I'm going to ask you about that one show where you threw up on the crowd. I'm going to ask you how that felt.
Mm-hmm. What was going through your mind when you were just like, yep, here it comes?
Orphan it off on people. I mean, I'm going to ask you everything, right down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah, there will be none of this.
What color was the vomit?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Did that affect your live shows in any way?
Did you lose views when you vomited on people?
No, there's a kink for everything. They probably gained views.
Ew.
But seriously, though, on that same thing, it's like, I mean, how can you charge somebody? Because, look, I'm going to be an asshole right now, and I apologize if I offend anyone, but how big of a narcissist do you have to be for me to pay you to come on my show and talk about yourself? That's staying in the show, by the way. That's not getting edited out.
Paul Lewis and Romeo Rage, Black.
seat. I'm awake in my sleep. Feel the motion inside. Pull away from the pride. Suddenly I'm awake as I realize mistakes, yeah. Wait, you gotta turn back. Fading into the black. Feels like yesterday. It's the other way. Switch cars for the view, and it followed me too, yeah. It's all in black and white. I need to go tonight. You're on a different track, and then the glass will crack. Heart attack, pull you back out of the black. Yeah. Take the next train home into the twilight zone. Leave the baggage behind. Almost out of time. Wide awake I can see all the damage to me, yeah. It's all in black and white. I need to go tonight. You're on a different track, and then the glass will crack. Heart attack, pull you back out of the black. Ooh, out of the black. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Looking out at the world, see a mother of pearl. Brilliant colors they blind, leave the darkness behind. Feel it taking control and enlightening your soul, yeah. It's all in black and white. I need to go tonight. You're on a different track, and then the glass will crack. It's all in black and white. I need to go tonight. You're on a different track, and then the glass will crack. Heart attack, pull you back out of the black. Ooh, out of the black. Out of the black. Ooh, out of the black. Ooh, out of the black.
Let's move on down the topics list of why shouldn't the interviewer get paid? I mean, you would think that would be more in line of fair, right? I've got overhead. I've taken time out of my day to promote your stuff that I had nothing to do with. Mm-hmm. At the same time, why don't I get paid? Why don't you pay me to sit on my couch?
Right.
I mean, we're in post-COVID world here. I've got to clean and scrub and make sure there's no
Germs.
Yeah.
No, I'm. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The table turns both ways. Mm-hmm. You don't sit here and demand that I'm going to pay you this much money for this many times. Now, don't get me wrong, and I'm gonna say this with a genuine. I realize that our studio is stationary, and people may have to drive an hour, maybe 2 hours, might even have to drive 30 minutes to come and sit on our couch. Mm-hmm. I do understand these things. I might even throw you, I don't know, a damn good barbecue dinner when you get here, which we have done multiple times. Just about every time someone comes and sits on our couch, we buy them dinner. Mm-hmm. And it's not cheap, guys. It's not cheap. But with that being said, I mean, I've done that, bought them that and everything. Why aren't you paying for the use of my electricity in my studio? Why aren't you paying for the use of the equipment that I have paid my hard-earned money for? Why are you not paying me for the experience of 10 years in the podcasting business when nobody was doing podcasts? Why aren't you paying me? You've been singing for 4 years, so now I've got to pay you $220. No, it's not happening.
No, because that's the thing is, if I'm going to pay for an interview, I'm going to get somebody big. I'm going to have Metallica on my couch. I'm going to have Aaron.
No, let's go. Let's go attainable. Moses Mo. We could easily pay and get Moses Mo on this couch.
If I pay Moses Mo, I'm getting a full show out of him over here at the theater because we're already in talks about that.
I mean, but you see what I'm saying? With an interview, hey, pop next door and let's talk.
Exactly.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I'm going to pay for it, it's going to be someone that, number one, I respect, that I have admired for years, and something that I feel that is worth it. If I'm going to pay for something, I need to have a little give back to me. Yeah.
I'm not paying for anyone to sit on my couch. Because there are 4 band members that earned 110% of my respect, more so than they already had back in January. They showed up to my studio, and all 4 of them drove for an hour and a half to get here. Yeah, to get here. And sat around, played music, we talked, we did a live, and it was completely free for everyone.
Well, money wasn't an issue, and it was organic. It was exactly what we pitched to them. It was an organic. I don't want to sound like we're in the 70s, but it was kind of like an organic happening. Yeah. They came in, they brought their acoustics, they sat around, they had a jam session, they hung out, they got to know each other, they got to network with each other. They've gotten other revenue from doing this. That's the whole point of the Mosh Pit, so that you can benefit from it, not for us to have to pay you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, there's a give and take there. All payments equal work. You have to work for what you get, and I'm not going to pay you to not work.
Yeah. And, listen, I'll take a donation every day of the week. If y'all want to donate to the Mosh Pit.
Color Mind, Endless.
God bless.
Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, whatever you got. Shit, I'll even do it easy for you. Send me a poster. Send me a poster, send me a t-shirt. Send me a letter that just says, hey, you rock. Rock and roll. Here
Right.
we go. I don't do this for money. If I did, listen, if you get in the music business for money,
I am not even joking, guys. He has a poster Hall of Fame in his studio where he literally, most of the bands that we have supported over the years that has sent him signed posters, sent him signed album covers, sent him stickers. He'll stick it up in there. Literally, we have a Hall of Fame with these posters, and that is his form of payment. That's what he enjoys. That's how he decorates. So, seriously.
only if it's signed. Only if it's signed. I don't want an unsigned poster. What's wrong with y'all?
So silly.
No, but even, hey, look, even if I've got to pay shipping for the poster, I understand shipping the stuff isn't cheap. It's not free. So I understand that, which I have, you can check my track record. I've donated to a lot of bands for certain things. And I've gotten some really kick-ass stuff that are one of a kind.
And that's another thing about payments. Like, we've never, excuse me, sorry guys, but we have never asked for payment for our services, nor have we ever been asked for payment for our service until
Recently.
4 or 5 months ago. Mm-hmm. We've never, money hasn't ever been brought up. However, we have been known to go to live shows for bands. We've been known to drop at least $100 on merch. Easy. Mm-hmm. I literally have a t-shirt for every live show we've ever been to. And 9 times out of 10, they are not famous. They have not made it. They do not have an album deal. They don't have a record company. 9 times out of 10, all of my shirts are literally underground. I have a collection. Mm-hmm. And I have absolutely, I maybe wear like 3 of them because they're my favorites, but I literally have a collection of t-shirts. That's my way of supporting our bands. Yep. And in my reality, I would feel if I were a band member and I got over $100 worth of merch sold that night, I'd feel accomplished. I'd feel happy.
Yeah.
Because people want my merch.
And see, that's another thing. I have actually been comped tickets. Mm-hmm. But you know what I do with that money that I saved on the ticket? I buy more fucking merch.
Right.
Because
that's the way the industry works.
Because, see, now we could segue into the other hot topic that's going on right now of venues taking a percentage of bands' merch sales.
Yeah, but wasn't
which
that
is
gonna
fucking horse shit. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
Wasn't that going to be in a completely different episode?
No, it's not on the itinerary.
Well, let's segue. Shoot.
Segue into that.
Let's segue.
You fucking venues that are taking money out of these bands, fuck you. I hope you go out of business.
No, seriously, though, I think it's terrible. Bands don't get paid anything anymore.
Bands don't get paid shit.
I
you
think
get
it's
4
terrible.
billion spins on Spotify and you get like, what, 10 cents?
People are all like, well, why can't I be the next Metallica? Why can't I be the next Kiss? Why can't I be the next Poison?
Why don't you want to be the next anything? Be the first you.
Right, that. But you've got to realize, when they were coming up, you could make a living being a musician. You could go and play a show and earn enough money to pay your bills. Back then, they actually got a percentage of the door plus food and drink. Now, you get jack. You have to make a certain amount of money before you even earn any money. It's stupid. It is the worst kind of Ponzi scheme ever, because then these venues get free entertainment and you get squat.
Yeah. Hey, next time they they ask you to pay for the beer tab, if you come in and play, we'll give you a cut of the beer sales. Tell them, why don't you give me the whole beer sales, because that's why everybody's here to drink, is to see me play.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. Look, my dad was in a band. He was in a band, in the 70s and 80s. And, hell, they still pay the same amount now that he used to make back then.
It's stupid.
Yeah. I mean, look, we get it. You drive, 3 hours for a show. There's 5 members in the band. Y'all are making $300. That's not even gas money to get home. We totally get it. Trust me. So it's ridiculous. So venues that are doing that crap, I think y'all make enough income on ticket sales and everything else. So fuck off with that percentage of
and
merch.
What a lot of people don't realize is venues, in order to have a certain type of license, you have to sell 50% of your sales have to be food. The cost versus the profit on food is ridiculous. Yeah. A plate of food in a restaurant could cost them anywhere from $1 to $1.50 to cook, but yet they're turning right around and they're charging us $15 to $30 a plate.
It's because I got to pay that minimum wage. That's a different story for a different episode.
But the catch is, if you have to spend 50% of your, if you have to make 50% of your revenue on your food, and then 50% on the alcohol sales, which we're not even going to talk about how they buy a bottle of beer for $2 and sell it for $8. So they've got all this inflation and they can't afford to pay the damn band.
No,
that's what gets me. Mm-hmm. You can afford to pay the band. Get over yourself. Give them a decent wage. Have one night a week that you have live music, so it's a little more exclusive, and make a budget for paying bands.
Now you're talking about like a restaurant doing video. You're not talking about like the Masquerade. Masquerade.
Oh well, yeah.
Probably my personal favorite.
Probably, yeah.
Furnace 41's got a kick-ass space. All those places.
Yeah.
I'm not going to call you guys out because I know y'all are kicking ass because y'all support the music industry as much as we do.
Right.
But yeah, it's just little things like that.
There's a place here in town, which I won't say the name, but there's a place here in town, and it's supposed to be where adults can go and have fun, and there are activities, and there's sports, and there's all this, and they advertise live music every time they're open, and all of that stuff. I know for a fact they have a menu and they sell food. Mm-hmm. You have to have 50% of your sales as food costs, and you have to have 50% of your sales as alcohol costs. So why are you not paying your bands properly?
Nail bite, little friend of mine.
You're just searching around, joy, love, Bite album, where the breakdowns are heavy and the chorus is catchy. And remember, there's no other sight than when you see Nail Bite.
Just please tell me. You see it's first again, oh no. What's happening? I'm not too sure. You see your faces again, oh no. What do you say? Just please tell me. You see it's first again, oh no. What's happening? I'm not too sure. You see your faces again, oh no. What do you say? Just please tell me.
Something is wanting and getting to be nothing is breaking the making, the hitting of a making. The something is wanting is turning so it goes and it's broken, the making, the hurting of my making.
Anything about that? Because I'm going to stay away from that.
Oh, I'm not saying. Why did you say here in Rockmart? We just said we're not going to specify.
Could be Cedartown.
Oh my
Could
god.
be Rome. No, there are lots of good venues. Pick and choose. We're going to get back to this other topic of pay to play. If I'm paying for an interview, what's the regulation on cancellation? What's the regulation on postponing it? Because life does happen. That's why you're hearing this show today. Life happens. Is there a cancellation? Is there do I get my money back if y'all don't show up?
Oh no, you don't pay. If I had to pay for an interview, they ain't getting shit until the end of the interview. I'm
But see,
not
that's the thing.
paying.
Most of them want it up front.
And then you cancel on me? Oh no, you're giving me every red cent back and then some.
You wasted my time. You wasted my money.
You wasted my energy, my electric bill.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm going to tell you something. Listen, I seem well put together down here, but when you fuckers cancel interviews on me and you ghost me, which is a whole nother topic for the next episode of this show, I get a little irritated.
Just a little.
Like, it can throw my entire fucking day off because it's like, oh, well, I had something to do. Hey, where you at?
You're so stupid.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, have a little consideration for others. Have consideration for people who actually show up and do stuff and help you guys. Don't just look for another dollar. I mean, what's 30 minutes out
here's
of
the
your
deal,
schedule?
too.
What's 30 minutes out of your schedule to come on and promote what you've got coming up, what you've got going on, what you've worked on, what you're proud to release?
And then also, like, if you have that attitude of, oh, it's just the Mosh Pit, they're just a free, podcast. Here's the deal: you have to start somewhere. You have to put foundation blocks down, and it's called hard work. Now, if you go on the little podcasts and stuff, those become stair steps to success.
Yeah.
You have to start at the bottom to work your way up. I understand we're not what 99X, and I only use 99X as an example because when I was growing up, it was badass, and when I was growing
I was
up,
a 96 Rock guy.
it was badass. But like we're not 99X. We're not like the big guys. We are a small entity in the world of rock and roll.
Right.
And we know this about ourselves. Again, which is why we don't charge.
Mm-hmm.
And also why we refuse to pay for interviews. We're not going to pay for interviews. I'm going out here and saying the Mosh Pit does not pay for interviews. So if you want to ask us, don't.
That's pretty much it. That's where we stand on that. Is no, we're not paying for interviews. I've got enough bands that they want interviews. They'll contact me directly because I am pretty much the Mosh Pit at this point. Wish best of luck to all my co-hosts who have co-hosted with me and that might be returning one day. But for now, it's just me.
Yeah.
And AJ, when she decides to sit in, has nothing going on. When she's not doing her art classes. So we got a couple other episodes coming up this week. This week? Are we doing multiple? No, we are not this month. Because it is now April, I think.
Yes.
Is it April?
When this comes out, maybe.
Is it April?
It probably is.
Y'all gonna hear this shit in June and be like, fuck is wrong with this guy? No, because we want to get it out in time because we've got 2-3 more episodes on this little topic. Not this topic specifically, but topical episodes, which we're trying to get back to in lieu of tons and tons of interviews. Because I have heard you guys, y'all kind of burn out on interviews. I get it, but interviews are easy. Interviews are fun.
We've got some good topics to talk about, though, in our topical, like you like to call them.
My topical topics.
The topical topics, your outline over there. No, we've got a couple of good topics to talk about, and you guys should tune in because what do we got coming up, babe?
What do we have coming up? So, like I said, we're going to get into... I know you guys are tired of hearing it, but it's that time of year. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, 2023. That's not how many times we've talked about it. That's just the year. Feels like it, though.
Right?
But this time, we're actually going to go point by point with the nominations versus the inductees versus the ones who might have, should have.
So this one's not going to be as long as the last one, guys. I promise.
No, because we are bulletin points this time. But there is one topic. I am going to give you this right now. This is a hint, a preview, a sneak peek of somebody actually does not qualify who is nominated this year. And it's not who you think I'm talking about.
Right.
But other than that, we've got a couple of good episodes coming up and tons of promotion and tons of kick-ass music. So stay tuned. And I think we're done with this episode, are we not?
We are, but I'm going to tell everybody my socials just because I can.
Do it.
So you can find me on YouTube as Chromostorm Arts. You can find me on Facebook as Chromostorm Arts. You can also find me at chromostormarts1.com. And you can find me or you can message me directly at chromostormarts@gmail.com. Art classes are available, and if you're ever in Rockmart, please stop in and take a look at the beautiful artwork. We're here Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
There you go. And there is no charge to wander the gallery and look around.
And just chit-chat. That's the whole point.
That's the whole point. Come in,
The
mingle.
whole point.
For anybody who was at Welsh Fest last month, it was the 10th anniversary. It was a huge show, and it was really fun. Looking forward to doing it again next year. Also, we got Homespun coming up in October. So stay tuned. And we're out of here on this episode. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye, y'all.
I can't find the motherfucking stop button.
Furrowed brow, Jill.